Hello, it's Thursday, April 27th of 2023, and today I'm here at Washington Union Station again, but this time I'm going to be taking the Brunswick Line to explore two local stations, Kensington and Garrett Park. The Brunswick Line is part of the Maryland Area Rail Commuter, or MARC, system, owned by the Maryland Transit Administration. The line runs 74 miles northwest from Washington, D.C. Union Station to Martinsburg, West Virginia, on CSX-owned tracks. There is also a 14-mile branch to Frederick, Maryland that splits off just before Point of Rocks Station. The line runs a rush-hour-only, peak direction service, with 9 trains in the morning inbound to D.C., and 9 trains in the evening in the outbound direction, with an extra 10th afternoon train on Fridays. There are 0 reverse peak trains and no trains on weekends, which makes it functionally impossible to use the Brunswick Line for any purpose other than a weekday commute to the city. The stations I'll be visiting today, Kensington and Garrett Park, sit in between the larger Silver Spring and Rockville stations. I'm in the MARC waiting room now, waiting for the 3:30 p.m. train in the direction of Brunswick, which is the first outbound Brunswick Line train today. I haven't bought tickets yet because unlike Amtrak, MARC has a flat rate, and it doesn't matter how close to the departure you are, the tickets always cost the same price, which is very nice. $6, that's not too bad. It is $6 for only an 18-minute ride though, so that's not great price per time. And here's the ticket. I'm gonna wait for my train here where all the trains are. It's 3:08 now, I think, 3:07, and they're boarding a Penn Line train now, but I didn't know you could just wait out here. We're already boarding 15 minutes before, which is pretty good. Apparently this train's going all the way to Martinsburg, even though on the schedule it just says it's going to Brunswick, so I don't know. Seems like there's 2 trains on the same track, which is interesting. I guess that's why it said board on North End. To board the train, you have to climb some stairs, because every platform on the Brunswick Line is a low-level platform. This is bad for accessibility and is also inconvenient in general. As you can see, the seats on MARC trains have a decent comfort level. Shortly after leaving Union Station, the train diverges from the Northeast Corridor and parallels the Red Line going on the outside of it until Silver Spring Station. The train kept passing and getting passed by this Red Line train, which was kind of funny. After Silver Spring Station, I had to move up to car 3 to be able to leave the train at Kensington. I also ended up sitting on the right, as that was the only window seat available.
Didn't even have to move this step box. Thank you.
I like how MARC is so professional that they literally manually shunted the train in and they rode with the doors open, which was interesting.
One more there, step 3, 20, attitude.
Yeah. Also, people have to wait to cross because there's no footbridge at this station. It's just walking over the tracks. I feel like whenever I ride an American railroad, it feels like I'm in the 1800s, 1900s or so, because it's so old style, the way that they run all the trains and stuff. So I'm going to do a bit of an amenity checklist of Kensington. So they have a waiting shelter. I'm in it right now. We have a dot matrix display, although it doesn't seem to be showing any actual trains arriving, which is a little strange. We have no footbridge, like I said before, just some wood slats over the tracks. We have a very short low-level platform. We have a timetable, which is nice. and a route map. We have bike racks. Are these bike racks? I'm not sure. We have quite a few parking spaces. There's like kind of 4 separate parking lots, like 2 on each side. Actually more like 3, because on that side it just seems like one big one. We have this gorgeous historical station building built in 1891 by the B&O Railroad. There is also a ticket machine inside the station building, but I'm not sure how you can get in since the door is locked. And in terms of accessibility, it seems like that little shed there has some sort of ramp in it, as there is an accessible symbol. There is also some decent land use around the station. There are a lot of stores and older houses, as I think this was a railroad town when it was built. We have the fast train coming through now. Sorry for the abrupt bus transition. I have had to get a bus, and I'll explain why when I get off. Thank you. So the reason I got a bus is because the next train that stopped at both Kensington and Garrett Park was in like an hour. I didn't really feel like waiting an hour and also paying another $6 for like a 2-minute ride. Now I just have an 8-minute lovely walk through the Garrett Park neighborhood, which by the way actually has sidewalks. That's how you know it's good. Made it to Garrett Park. It's very similar to Kensington, except it doesn't have a station building, but I would say it's one of the most beautiful stations I've ever been to in the US. It's not beautiful in terms of its platforms and station itself, but it's beautiful in terms of the environment around it and the neighborhood around it. Garrett Park Station has a timetable, a map, a bike rack, a shelter, a dot matrix display, and even a parking lot, which is all you need for a station like this. Garrett Park has some bus maps and also a 2023 Montgomery County bus map, so whoever's restocking these is really on top of it. Garrett Park also has this lovely old house with a post office and restaurant inside. I think the best thing about Garrett Park is that you can have this tiny station and you have these huge trains running through them. Garrett Park Station sits right next to this neighborhood park, which connects to Rock Creek Park, which is sort of a linear park following Rock Creek, all the way from downtown DC to the Maryland suburbs. Wow, that was insanely loud and noisy. Oh my god. Yeah, I forgot to mention, there's also freight trains that run on this line. Kensington and Garrett Park are both very small stations, but I do really like small stations. I find them oddly sort of a snapshot back to a simpler time, the steam age, even though I wasn't even alive back then. But yeah, that's all from me for today. Hope you guys all enjoyed watching, and see you in the next video. Side note, I don't actually know how I'm gonna get home from here. I should have probably thought about that beforehand.